Red Edition, welcome, happy day. I saw a fellow just the other day, and actually I know him, and he had a vacant look in his eyes, and that wasn't really unusual because he's a liberal. Hey, just saying, but I did walk up to him and I said, "Are you okay?" And he replied, "I'm lost in thought." And I just couldn't help myself, so I quipped, "Unfamiliar territory. Hey, just sharing with you, votes for Republicans are often recently being switched over to votes for Democrats. I kind of believe that it's not necessarily who votes so much that counts as who counts the votes. Hey, just sharing that with you also. In Illinois, 2 voters say that their attempts to vote early for Republicans didn't work out so good for them. They pressed a button and they saw the little thing move over to the Democrat candidate. I wonder about that kind of stuff. Can you trust a liberal? Of course you can't, because they all lied to you. Just saying again and again and again. Can people vote without ID? Sure, they can. In some states they can. Can you believe that? The Hispanic community, they're just having a great time with this, because guess who they're voting for? Okami, because he gives them lots of little benefits and things, and he wants to give them free citizenship, okay? And that's going on, and there's a website saying, come here, and here's where you go, and you get to vote. You don't have to show who you are. You don't have to be an American citizen per se. You just got to walk in and say, here, let me put my X beside that guy. Boy, what a system. That's pretty darn mixed up. I just don't get it at all. The liberal government, liberals in Canada, and this would actually be in Ontario, and the woman premier there, she's homosexual and lesbian, I guess it's called, and she says whether that's going to a part in this overall plan or not, who knows, but she's it said at least that she is kind of pushing this along. Sex education for Ontario schools. They are now going to start teaching children about homosexuality and same-sex marriages in grade 3. How do you like that? I mean, I don't have any kids in grade 3 anymore, but I used to. I'd go into the school and just have an absolute fit. I mean, I can't even imagine. Do they really want to learn about that? And if they do, they'll get it from CVC, or they can get it from me. They can get it at home. I mean, you don't have to have teachers, particularly if they're pro for one way or another, because typically that's what they are. They pick a position. Rarely do these left-wing teachers, and most teachers happen to be left-wing, rarely do they actually give all the positions equally. It's kind of like socialism. They talk about it all the time. I wish I had equal time to go into the schools and kind of talk to all the students about the right-wing thing. Here's a judge in Vancouver, Canada, that he's pondering this need now to give an answer on a request for bail to a pervert. He's a notorious guy. His name is Eric Wanamaker. He's been in and out of prison an awful lot. It's about bad sex crimes to women and to children. He's a pedophile on top of it all. He was just recently arrested, 17 breaches of probation, and he already had probation charges that were breached at that point in time, and now he's trying to get out again, and when he gets out, he does bad things to little children. The death penalty, get it back and get rid of guys like him. Goodbye, bad guy. He's sick and he can't be fixed. Medicine has proven that. Doctors say that the only way to do it is to kill him. I sound terribly mean and cruel, don't I? But you know what? That is what you have to do for the sake of the children. Where are the politicians? Where are the men? I remember when I used to have some of them that would say, guys, this might be painful, but we gotta fix our system. The shooter that lured victims in Seattle, that's a terrible thing. I have a grandson that's in a school just a mile down the road, and his school was locked down, and I get all of that, but can you imagine texting 5 of your friends and saying, meet me in the lunchroom, and then coming up and shooting all 5 to have died, and then turning the gun on himself? That's just a terrible thing. I mean, there's nothing else to say except that. It's not about gun control. It's not about anything. I mean, it's just that. Of course it's about something, but my point is a lot of people now are talking about guns and gun control. I just don't know that there's any answer for this. My sympathies, my heart goes out to the families of the victims. Terrible story. Hey, you all come back tomorrow. We're going to have good stories for you from the right. See ya.